I'm going to start with a question to you, and that is, what is the most complex thing in the known universe? The human brain. With over 100 billion interconnected neurons, the human brain is the most complex thing in the known universe. Given this, it is no surprise that things can go astray. Another question. Princess Diana, Beethoven, Kurt Cobain, Sir Winston Churchill, what do they all have in common? Mental illness. It affects 1 in 4 people worldwide, regardless of country or culture. Everyone is affected by it. Rock stars, royalty, musicians, world leaders, hockey players, our colleagues, families, and friends. Throughout history, some of the world's greatest minds have been affected by it, and in fact, we often think there's a link between genius and mental illness. Today, suicide ends more lives than homicide and war, and depression will be the #2 killer, second only to heart disease in the near future. So why are mental health issues on the rise? Well, our lives are becoming more stressful, with never-ending pressures, and little or no time. This is how I feel sometimes. Now, there's good news, and the good news is that there are solutions, and that's what I'd like to leave you with tonight. But first, let me tell you a story of one of my very courageous patients. I can't tell you her first name, but I'm going to call her Jasmine. Jasmine suffered from a condition called obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. It runs in her family, and it was triggered when she was a child by strep throat. Now, that's quite uncommon, so if you have a sore throat, please, you don't need to see a psychiatrist. She was paralyzed by this. She spent over 10 hours a day washing her hands, avoiding germs, and obsessing that she might catch some kind of disease. She found temporary relief in drugs and alcohol when she was 18, became severely addicted to cocaine, spent $60,000 on it, she stole from her grandmother, and had a cocaine-induced psychosis. I met her for the first time at the emergency room of Vancouver General Hospital, where she was hallucinating and had a fixed delusion that she had HIV, when of course she didn't. She entered treatment and did quite well, was volunteering with students and met a new guy. She thought he was great, family loved him. But Jasmine had an uneasy feeling about him, and she dumped him after about 4 weeks. Now, we later found out that he was an actor hired by her dealers to get her back into the drugs. Was that instinct? You might be interested to know that a gut feeling actually originates in the brain, and the body can sense danger without the mind ever knowing why. I encourage Jasmine to tap into that intuition through meditation, and that with therapy for her addiction and medication for her OCD, she now doesn't just survive, she thrives, and she's still looking for that actor. In my 15 years of being a doctor, I truly believe in the treatments, the medications that I prescribe every day. However, I now know that most of what we need to keep us healthy occurs in our daily lives. And whatever your belief system, whoever you believe created the human being, whether it's God, science, Mother Nature, or the universe, consider this, that the things we need to be healthy are built into our natural world, and that we have cues and clues all around us. The truly amazing thing is really something that we all know is true, and that is we feel most uplifted when we give to each other and to our community. What sages and saints have told us throughout history, we can now see in the human mind, that giving is good for our soul. Oops. Slide. What I wanted to say is that there are those cues in nature that are all around us actually can be experienced in our daily lives. And these are some of the things that work as well as antidepressants. So exercising 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and positive socialization, outdoor sunlight. Now, positive socialization is when you have a social interaction, you leave feeling better, not worse. So you want to book your coffee dates with Oprah, not Snooki, or nobody from a reality show. Okay. All right, so getting back to giving. Next slide. Getting back to giving is what saints and sages told us was that giving feels good for our soul. And we now know that it is good for our brain. So let's talk about the neuroscience of giving for a moment. When we participate in mutually cooperative activities, such as sharing and helping, we activate powerful neurological pathways that lead us feeling rewarded and wanting to do more. An elegant, perfect neurological feedback loop that helps everyone, connecting the neuron with the soul. This is sophisticated science that has proved a timeless truth, that by giving, we actually have an enhanced sense of well-being. And the neat thing is this process is most energized when we give to the young, our children and our youth. A treatment for women with postpartum depression that's proven to be effective is for them to massage their newborns and to have skin-to-skin contact. Now, these things alone aren't enough to cure the diseases of mental illness. However, we can now fully appreciate that the most complex thing in the known universe, the human brain, not only responds, but literally lights up when we do those simple things, those fundamental and basic things that we intuitively know feel good.